Hey y'all, Chris here. Today I've got something very special for you. This is the first time we're actually going to make a product with everything that we grew in our backyard. So stick around, I'm going to show you what we do with all of these products. Spoiler alert, salsa, Greg's way. He wants baby food salsa, so that's what we're doing for him. And I am going to save the seeds from these three varieties. This we saved seed from last year. This we saved seed from last year. And we've got to keep that going. So let me show you how to save the seeds first before we start making the salsa. All right, here is my seed saving book. It's called Seed to Seed by Susan Ashworth. I will link it in the description below. This teaches you how to save seeds properly, and I love it. So first thing we do with our tomatoes is get you in view. Is we're going to cut these open and get some of these seeds out. So I am going to use these tomatoes for the salsa, but what I want to do is I want to get all the gooey seed pulp out from these tomatoes. And y'all, I'm highly allergic to the tomato acid, so I'm going to use a glove and a spoon, and we're just going to get all the goo out. And see, we're going to leave the meat. We're just going to put that in the bowl to use for the salsa. And in this goo, there are tons of seeds. So I want to just fill this bowl up with the seeds and let them jam away. And so we're going to do this for each of the varieties. We're going to pull the center out, get all the seeds out of there. Now with tomatoes, they actually have to ferment to get the gel off. So we're going to leave these out on the counter all week so they can ferment. It says it takes about 3 days. So we'll see. But that should be plenty of seeds and seed pulp to do what we need to do next year. And probably the year after. It doesn't take much. So this was what? 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 tomatoes of these cherry type. Or I think they're plum. They look more like plum. I have no idea what they are. But they're fantastic. Okay. And so here's what I'm going to squeeze as many seeds out of this pulp as we can. Get the big chunks of pulp out of there. Because we want the seeds left behind and the big tomato chunks out of there. Okay. So this is what saving seeds looks like. See all the seeds in there? We're going to leave it just like this. Leave the water in there. Leave the seeds floating in there. And these are going to ferment over the next few days. And then we'll take you along with the next process. And that's probably going to be in a different video. So let me get these other two done real quick.
Okay, y'all, these two types of tomatoes are like heavy meat tomatoes. So they have very little seed pulp and very little gooey parts, and these were hard to harvest.
All right, y'all, there we go. There's the yellow. Here, you saw the plum, and then here are the Amish paste. Now, Amish paste are bred to where they have a ton of meat and not a lot of seeds. So that was all we got out of that little bitty, or that big old tomato. So, all right, now let's take our tomatoes and go make salsa. Today we are working out of the Ball Complete Book of Home Food Preservation. I am on page 203, and we're going to work this recipe. So 7 cups of chopped cord peeled tomatoes. So I'm going to fill this jar up all the way, and we're going to get these blitzed in the food processor. All right, we're back. James is gone now. Okay, can you see what we're doing? All right, these are last year's onions that we grew and we froze. So we're gonna do 2 cups of onions. And I'm gonna do half white and half red. And we're gonna pulse these and add them to the mix. That looks good. Let's get those in the tomatoes. And then we need peppers and jalapenos. And then we can get this in a pot on the stove. Now, I believe this calls for 7 jalapenos, but I don't think we're gonna do 7. I think we're gonna do what we've got, which is 4. Cool. We're gonna use, I'm gonna save these for another recipe. We'll use these. And this, I believe, is 2 cups. So we'll just do half of this bag, or a little more than half. And I'm gonna make a different recipe later, so we'll put these up. And then let's get, and it says to de-seed these, so we will make that happen. Oh yeah, they're hot. Oh yeah, hot, hot. I'll just use my strawberry thing to get this out. I usually use a spoon to get the ribs and the seeds out. We'll just use this real quick. Since it's right here, that's gonna be plenty hot. I promise. All right, let's get those in there and pulsed up. I'd say that looks perfect. Perfection. I think next on the list is some garlic. Oh, how much garlic? 3 cloves. All right. Now this is garlic we grew, so I'm gonna dig 3 cloves out. Actually, I'm gonna dig 4 out because we're using the machine and we'll lose some products. So let's get those out of there. And we store our garlic in olive oil. That's why it looks weird. It lasts way longer in the fridge. Oh, it worked out nicely. Cool. Definitely need a spatula this time. All right, let's get everything else out of here. That's our garlic, our onions, our bell pepper, our jalapenos, our tomatoes. Let's see what's next. Tomato paste, and we won't have tomato paste. I refuse to make tomato paste. Cilantro, half cup. And then we need some vinegar. And I'm gonna wait to do that until we get it on the stove. So be right back. All right, let's get all this in here. There we go. All right. Now I need cilantro. Now, we have grown our own cilantro, but it bolted. And the other stuff that we did, we freeze dried. So this is the one ingredient we purchased, which really sucks, but I'm okay with it. Let me chop it up real quick. And that whole thing ended up being a half a cup. That's all I have left is the little stems. For safety and acidity, 3/4 cup white vinegar, half a teaspoon of cumin. Oh, I love the smell of cumin. And y'all know me, I don't like making tomato paste because it is a rough process. So yes, it's store-bought and it's going in. And I'm okay with that. Everything else is ours. Now, I will say, if we get a big old bumper crop this year of tomatoes, I'm making tomato paste, so I don't have to do this anymore. I can actually say that it's my own. All right, we're turning it on, and we're getting it heated through. All right, guys, next on the agenda. I cleaned everything up, and I want to go through what we're going to do next. We harvested over a gallon of basil leaves. And they are stunning. So we're gonna get these in the processor. And we're gonna get our pesto on. So they have been in the refrigerator for a little bit. There's some dark spotting. Nothing's bad. It's just got a little bit of dark spotting on it, and I'm okay with that. Now that's probably too much. All right, so what we're gonna do, this is pesto. Pesto is very easy. We need some nuts, we need some cheese, we need a little acidity with some juice, lime juice, and we're gonna blitz them up. I gotta go check a recipe. Okay, we're spinning. I've put the majority of the basil in there. We're gonna get the rest of it in. Then I'm gonna add all of this Parmesan cheese. This is like 2 cups because I used some. And then we're gonna drizzle some olive oil in here, and then we'll add the walnuts. I am not doing pine nuts, those are too expensive. And I don't really like the flavor. Ah. Come on now, get in there. Nice. Oh. If it doesn't taste good, it sure does smell good. Okay, let's try this. Oh. Oh darn. It needs to run more. That is fantastic. And I want more walnuts in it. It's still gritty, so we need to blitz it a little bit longer. All right, bring it back when it's done. Okay, y'all, this is beautiful. I added some more olive oil and some more walnuts, and I think it's absolutely divine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to our 1 cup food freezer thingy-doodles, because I think that's a good portion size for Greg and I. So when we want to use this pesto, this will be good to dish out pretty easily. Let's see if I can get the blade out of there now that it's emptied a little bit. Oh yeah. So good. The smell, I wish you could smell this. I wish you could smell this. It is so good. Okay, let's get these other ones filled up. Do a second one. Let's get these guys topped off. All right, you're good. Get you topped off. And I'll put some in a little container so Greg can taste it when he gets home. Okay. Oh, so good. Look, I'm like, get this cleaned off. Okay. Perfect. Wonderful. All right, going in the freezer. We ended up with 6 cups of pesto. Now we will use these for pasta, sandwiches, anything that you want to use pesto on. That's what we're doing these. We're using these for the same thing. So, all right, there you go, in the freezer. I'll let you know what Greg thinks about it too when he gets home. All right, we have success. I got the okay from Greg. We're going to put these in jars. We're going to water bath can them. We're going to follow all of our normal canning procedures. Now this has been in the refrigerator, so we're going to go cold water, cold canner, cold product, cold jars. Get this put together, and I'll bring you back when we pull them out of the canner.
All right, y'all. The pesto was a success. I got the okay on from Greg for the pesto, and all 5 of these jars came out wonderful. Everything's sealed, and it just is, oh, it tastes so good. We had a little bit left over, so we put that in the refrigerator, and we've been eating on it the last couple days, and it is just wonderful. So I hope you enjoyed these 2 recipes. Don't be afraid to grow your own food, and don't be afraid to put it up on the shelf. So comment below and let us know what you're growing this year. So, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And until we see you on the next video, bye, y'all.